Hey everybody. Okay, so we live on YouTube, y'all, too. This is our What in the Word Wednesday, and we are because we we're having a little brunch lunch. We're including this in our conversation today. All right, so to let you know what we got on the plates, we got strawberry topped blueberry biscuits, y'all. I have a Belgian waffle. Hubby didn't get a Belgian waffle. I gave him extra pieces of bacon. And that's turkey bacon, y'all. And a Thai crunch salad with mango chili dressing that I love, and it's delicious. And yeah, that's what we got.
There's a lot going on these plates.
If not,
I got grapes over here that I didn't even know was there.
oh yeah, you have great because I gave you some little extra. But y'all, oh Naima, it's been so long, girl. Thank you for stopping in. Let me put this on here. Naima, you must come over to visit us in Athens. We would love to do a live and have you here in person. That would be fun.
Let me see. One down here. You know I can't see this stuff.
No, it's too far.
Let me get a little closer.
That's too far. No, we're too far away from the camera. I'm not inviting anybody to join the live.
I don't know who. But so
this is about what's in the word.
We're doing an update. So we just going there.
Oh, update. Oh, thank you. We haven't done one in a while, like 2 weeks. So you're okay.
But as you can see, I am no longer in New York.
No.
I am home.
But hubby is home, and it feels so good. That's why I'm able to go on TikTok because we didn't do any lives from Colored On and Courtney while he was going. Hey, Kojak. Welcome.
So look.
Hey, Scorpio.
All y'all TikTok people, right? Okay.
Yeah.
And she didn't answer. Y'all kept sending them videos, sending them messages, whatever. Listen, I wouldn't answer that stuff. Okay. So don't worry. She gonna buckle down because she got like 99 plus things in there to do.
If you'll let me do them.
What you talking about?
Babe, you be having me indisposed.
Listen, 6 months.
Because it's not exactly. So tell them that. Let me tell them something. Oh, I'm a buckle down. That ain't about me buckling down.
But when she has an opportunity,
thank you.
She will take care of all y'all.
That's better.
Okay?
Yeah, it's better.
So
I'm not gonna be able to keep looking back and forth.
That's why I had it here first. But it was looking crazy.
I'm gonna just focus here.
Okay.
And we're gonna get into what in the word.
All right.
So today we're going over.
I'm gonna do both ends.
Okay. He's very multi-talented and multitasking. I like to focus on one thing at a time. He not so much.
You got some more turkey bacon?
There's one piece that's still in the bowl.
Okay.
So you all know what in the word we like to take in the world situations and talk about the biblical perspective. And since we're both finding new, I guess, perspectives in this walk, we're dealing out back and forth. I want to give a big shout out to Rev Dev and Prophetess Lauren Oliver. They will be the first guests on our Couple of Forever series that starts this Saturday. So y'all get in here on Resurrection Eve and tune in. It's going to be a good one. Couple of Forevers is a show that we're doing that we're focusing on taking other couples and talking with them about building kingdom love, like building a love and a relationship in the
Ooh,
scope.
that's some good H2O. I'm sorry. Couple of apples.
In the scope, building kingdom love in the scope of faith-filled marriages, right? And so we are finding a lot. We're finding a lot of very helpful tips from people that are in the Word and married. So we're like, okay, let's document this. Naima, they're looking at 6 o'clock because again, this is actually a real reverend and real prophetess. So they have guests coming in for Resurrection Sunday. We do not call it Easter. We do not play those games over here. So they have guests coming in for Resurrection Sunday. So their guests are coming in Saturday morning. So they're looking at, and we have been invited for actually breakfast at the place that we do our food distribution pickups from for the pantry that morning as well. So it's working out great. You know, you always say trust God's timing, and it's working out pretty good that it looks like it'll be working with both of our schedules to have it in this evening.
Come on.
What?
Up top. Biscuit action.
Oh, the biscuit is great?
Bong bong.
Okay. So today with the biscuits, y'all, I made a strawberry buttered topping, and then in the biscuit is blueberries. So that is what's going on the plates. But thank you.
You got some more topping?
Mm-mm.
You might just throw some butter on there. And the blueberries already in there. Should be all right. A lot. It's too much to be making more than topping. Like, that's like a whole process. Whole process.
That's what makes it good.
So we was I'm gonna say last night into this morning / afternoon, we've been talking about nature or what is it?
Natural instincts.
Natural instincts, and you know what you are, what you will naturally do because this is just you. This is your makeup.
Right.
This is just how you're wired.
Right. And you know, not for nothing, babe. Literally just last week, you asked me that when we were talking about getting in the Word. You sure did. And God has shown us through a couple of things that have happened, literally since last week, in a couple of ways. But I'm gonna let you roll it in. But I'm preaching to somebody today.
Really?
I'm preaching to somebody. I'm preaching to somebody.
Listen, she didn't heard this dude,
Brother Leo,
and I clowned him a little. Now she just keep going with this.
I'm preaching to somebody.
Listen,
somebody's gonna get this. Somebody's getting this. I'm preaching to that.
So this was I think a couple weeks ago. I asked this.
Last week before you left.
I know I had read something somewhere. I can't actually remember where.
Yeah.
Where it was like where it said recognize that God has wired you the way you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
So my question was, how do you know that this is the way you wired?
Right.
Or this is just the way you were raised?
Good.
If you're not just a product of your environment. Okay, look, you know, I'm from New York. Boogie Down.
Boogie Down Bronx.
And watch
really from the Boogie Down Bronx, not what J-Lo was talking about in that interview, y'all.
Listen, yo.
That was so crazy.
Listen.
Y'all, I'm not even from the Bronx, but
and I want to make.
I promise you I could have given a more authentic.
Yo, and I want to make this very, very clear because I got to keep telling her this. Diddy is not from New York City. Diddy is from Mount Vernon. That is not New York City. Diddy is not one of the homies.
I feel like Diddy.
Okay.
I feel like Diddy was a homie until.
Diddy was never a homie.
I think Diddy was a homie.
Diddy is from Mount Vernon.
I think Diddy was a homie.
All right. I need some of my NY homies to back me on this.
I think Diddy was a homie.
He's a whole something. He ain't a homie.
Go back to the word.
Okay.
J-Lo said she gets ham and cheese on the roll from the bodegas.
Okay.
So many people were saying in bodegas, everything comes down to 2 types of sandwiches. The chopped cheese are like this with like a whole lot of stuff in the oils. Nobody just says a ham and cheese on a roll.
No.
Okay. So, but you just said okay when I said
yeah, I mean, because you know, listen.
I'm just saying.
Listen. J-Lo, listen. There are parts in the Bronx that's okay, that's pristine. I won't say pristine, this is the Bronx. But you know, it's okay. That's where she from. She ain't from 170th and Ogden, Highbridge. She ain't from 166 and 3rd. You see what I'm saying? She ain't from Soundview. She ain't from none of these spots. She ain't from Macomb. She ain't from Undercliff.
She got that ham and cheese on a roll and an orange drink. If you know, you know. So now people are also
you know.
Yes, she said. So now people are trying to figure out what orange drink is this? Because she said, if you know, you know. So what orange drink is this? Which a lot of people just trying to figure it out. I'm just interested in knowing too. I'm interested.
You know, what am I coming out with? If I'm getting soda, what am I coming out with?
A Pepsi.
All right.
Yeah.
What you talking about? Orange drink.
Orange drink. If you know, you know. You said if you know, you know. Y'all forget once you dealt with.
Anyway, let me get back to what I was saying.
Yeah, because Cooking with Sir Senior. Salute, Sir Senior. Welcome. Good to see you. It has been a while. But so, yes, nature versus nurture. Yes.
So then my question, let me bring it back. So my question was, how do you know if this is the way you wired?
Naima said she loves Pepsi. Only y'all two on Earth.
This is SI.
Only y'all.
Hey, more for us.
Y'all,
more for us.
Y'all, we poking over here. We poking over here. We poking.
You poking?
We poking. We poking.
But so let me get through this. All right. So look. So how do you know if the way you are isn't because of your environment? How you know you're the product of your environment, or if this is the way that you were wired? So, you know, we kind of went back and forth with that one because, like, I mean, like, how could you really, really truly tell until you are out of that environment?
Yeah.
And then you know, because like, okay, so I just finished up my parole, free man, off paper.
All the way out.
This is why I was in New York for freaking 6 months. You know, she who will remain nameless, Taylor.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you got mine right now?
You're right. I ain't say the whole name, you know.
No.
But certain persons had me kind of locked for 6 months. And what I noticed is that when I'm down here, I'm a different. It's different for me. My attitude is different.
Yeah.
You know, my
your eating is different.
Yeah, my eating is different. My walk is different. My talk is different.
No, that talk is still New York, baby. That talk is still New York. No. That ain't never gonna leave.
No. The accent maybe, but
no. Your talk, I'm talking about with the slanging. Yes, baby. That is still New York. That is still New York. It is. Stop it. You can go ahead with it, but I'm listening.
But so what happens is my mentality changes when I'm up top.
Yeah. Survival mode, you said.
Exactly. And that was another thing that we talked about, you know.
We talk about that all the time.
Like, and I tell this to people, like after I started coming down, running back and forth down here, and even before I met my wife.
Yeah, because we're gonna talk about that guy. Guy said you moved down to New York because New York Giants suck big time. No, baby, he was gonna be moving down to New York.
Don't make me pull up.
Don't make you go back and pull back
up. I will come back up there. Hey, meet you by the Barclays, bro.
No.
Don't make me pull up.
The reason why he was moving from New York is because this life is down here, but yeah. But it was kind of bittersweet, I think.
It's it's exhausting being gangster 24/7. Like anybody from New York, Chicago, any of these Philly, I promise you. Listen, I promise you. You leave the hood, man. You won't miss it.
Yeah.
You will not miss it. But anyway, like I said, like I'm different when I'm up there.
You don't even have to be the hood though, because me being from Daytona, I don't miss Daytona.
Well, I mean, what we call the hood is it's just the hood, but like
right.
Your hood is your
hood.
Your
hood is your hood. You know what I'm saying? Your neighborhood. Yeah,
right. That's all. I'm not talking about bad neighborhoods, good neighborhoods.
Okay.
But I think these particular cities are unique because we dying to stay in them.
Right.
Like
why?
Literally, we dying to stay in the city.
Why?
And,
why is that?
Because it's a
part of our nature.
I mean, like, listen, we go out of town, you rep your city. I mean, I still rep New York.
All the time.
You know what I mean? I put it like, what? Don't make me a New York man. I'll whoop you.
Not thinking with God, man.
I'm going to flip Paul, but listen, but that's why I picked those cities because, like the LA's, Compton, Oakland, these are the cities that like I said, like we literally die to stay in these cities. Like we kill some, kill to when you badmouth these cities.
Yeah.
When you badmouth our blocks, our hoods, our sets, our projects, and after a while, I know for me, you get old. You don't want to do that no more. But this is the product of your environment stuff.
Now, even said, before I leave this earth, I'm going to see the Giants win another championship.
Oh, hey, better know it. Better know it. We listen. We ain't too far off. Cause they just I don't want to turn this in a football talk.
Please do not.
See, y'all trying to pull me in, and it's your boy. It's your boy. It's your boy. But I don't want to turn this into football talk because we can go.
So we might have to a little later. Somebody was clowning y'all. Somebody was clowning Sierra's husband yesterday.
And I wasn't clowning his husband. The man is done. If he's done, he's done.
And that's not his husband. It's her husband. And nobody would be talking about Mr. Russell, greatest dad in the world, Wilson.
Who?
Greatest daddy.
What makes him the greatest daddy?
Because he just been really showing up with the daddy-daughter prom. He takes his daughter to, and he just be really showing up.
He's the only daddy. It's a whole prom.
So I didn't say he was the only daddy. I just said he's showing. He's showing it off. Like he's setting a precedent when it comes to it. He's a good dad.
Man,
I don't know why somebody got a problem with Sierra. With Sierra,
I don't have a problem with Sierra. I don't have a problem with Russell Wilson.
I think he has a problem.
If the man is done, the man is done.
That's not nice.
It's called life.
I don't think he's done though.
Listen, let me tell you something. You know who's undefeated? In all walks of life and in all sports. You know who's undefeated? Father Time.
Yeah.
That's what hit.
But I do want to ask, why don't you think he will retire though? He's been playing a long time.
Why he won't retire?
God said the racist New York Giants never had a black starting quarterback.
So what?
The whole NFL is racist.
Mm-hmm. So what?
I'm not going to respond to that. Kristen was her senior. Sierra is doing her momly, wifely.
Hold up, Mom, is there something here?
Kingdom duties. Oh, I did.
He has another contract. He's blessed.
Oh, call your local emergency helpline for food pantry. Oh, did somebody ask for one? Oh, I'm so sorry, y'all. We're in Athens, Georgia, with ours. I don't know where that person from. We missed that message. So, but yes, he's. You're correct. Call your local resource manager. Here they call it DFACS, but like in Miami or in Florida, they call it Department of Children and Families. So So what are we talking about? We done missed so many messages, y'all.
I'm so sorry. There is a whole thing going on.
There's a whole conversation going on, y'all. Y'all over there. I'm so sorry. We TikTok. That's why I said I knew. I thought at first this was a good idea, but he said he had y'all. He said he had it.
No, my man was over here talking about my Giants.
That totally took you off the word. That totally did. Wow. Y'all, now y'all got him turning the hat back around. Lord. Yeah.
But you know what? This actually goes to what I'm saying. Yeah. Like about the environment. Man talking about my city. So what happens? I just turned around and then I started doing stuff like this and watch till I die. You know, product of your environment. So I come down south. Add 10 years to my life. Trust and believe. It's less stress. Not angry all the time. I still kind of want to fight a little bit. Not as much. But certain things that that I still do. Now I know how I'm wired. And there's certain things that I'm grateful for that I don't have to do. That's the product of my environment. Now, so what got us thinking about this again today was, so I'm standing by the sink over here.
Yeah. And this is good. And also my dreams. My dreams.
Oh, yeah. I fell asleep when you was trying to tell me the dreams.
Twice.
I was tired. First of all, she had the heat on and was cooking me all night. Like cooking me. Yeah. Literally, I was in the oven. I like
to be warm and fuzzy.
She warm and fuzzy?
Yeah, warm and fuzzy.
Yo, it was like 350 degrees in there. Felt like listen, all you needed was the little, what's that thing called? The baster?
Yeah.
I was in there cooking.
I love it.
So I'm standing by the sink, and for some reason we've got like an influx of like red robins flying around over here. Like it's yeah. I mean, well,
in abundance.
It's abundance. Like I would see one or two and be like, hey, look, red robin. It was like now it's like you see one, it's like 3, 4, 5, 6 other ones like they out there. You know what I'm saying? They they out there. So anyway, so I'm looking out the window and I see something moving. Now I thought it was a baby bird or something, a nest that fell from the tree or something. So I was gonna scoop them up and put them somewhere. Like I ain't want him to stay in the driveway and I back out and pull out and crush his brain or something.
Yeah.
Or this is Wild Kingdom out here, as I'm about to tell you. But it wasn't a bird. It was a nice sized toad.
Yeah, it was a nice sized toad.
So he's sitting there kicking, and I don't know if he's if he was dying, hurt, what. So I flip him off his back on his stomach, and I guess he was just knocked out or unconscious because he kind of like, I come back in. I'm like, he's slow, but he's moving now. He's hopping. Don't you know a hawk came right up in and grabbed my man up?
But we were also talking about in terms of that, we were actually, Devon is he's a brawler. He doesn't mind getting fists going.
No.
Yeah, what? Go ahead.
Let me clarify.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm not a brawler.
You are?
Not a brawler.
I think with a nickname like Bust, that's what most people would assume. You're a head buster.
Yeah, but that's not even what that nickname means.
You always can say this, but I said this is what people would assume. Like somebody named Bust, they're considering that somebody that busts lips, he busts eyes, he busts, he's a bust. Like I said, if it's Buster, like I know, growing up for us, that used to be like, oh, he's like kind of a nerd, like he a buster. But then when it went to like bust, it was like it meant kind of brawling, like he liked to get it, he like to bust, bust shots, bust some fists, like bust, yeah.
All right, but look, not a brawler.
Okay.
I don't look for fights. However,
you don't run from them.
I don't run from them either.
You know how many times I heard this, y'all?
Because it's
but
the truth.
But I think he does.
Look, how 50 said.
Yeah.
I don't want any problems, but when somebody says some problems, I say no problem.
He like fighting.
I mean, yeah, I do.
Okay, thank you. I always tell him, let's just keep it honest. Let's keep it hot. Yeah.
Okay, listen. I mean, I don't mind a good dust up.
Yeah.
You know, like
and like I said, I always tell him, I say, you married the right one because I'm gonna do this every time and talk that out of the situation. I'm not going to go to fist.
So I give her a scenario.
He married to the right one.
I give her a scenario, you know, if I'm scrapping.
We can't both be out there fighting. That's what I told her.
No, but now check this out. Here's the scenario, right?
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, look.
I'm too grown. I call cops and take pictures.
What you're talking about? Now, look, cops and take pictures. What I'm saying is, if I'm scrapping, you know, the husband, whatever, you know, and the wife jump in, she got to get in there.
Y'all, I want to say for real quick,
right?
I have on my pretty panty fanny pink today.
What?
I have on my pretty panty fanny pink. Because, you know, pretty panty fanny.
What are we talking about here?
I'm talking about my top. It's pink. Like what pretty panty fanny.
What does that do with panties?
Pretty panty fanny. That's what I call.
Oh,
yes.
Listen, look,
and that's why I said I was talking to them because see, they know you. I gotta explain it to. I just was seeing how my pretty panty fanny was looking, and I felt like I'm ready to get on the stand now.
Listen,
yeah, I'm ready to get on the stand.
I want to take this to the public, though. I want some opinions.
You want some opinions? No, both of us can't be fighting.
If I'm scrapping,
if he's scrapping, y'all,
right?
If he's scrapping,
I'm plucking, boy.
He's plucking them.
Right?
He liked to show how he got them fist action.
You know, old girl jump in. You know, you know how y'all girls do.
I
right?
Wouldn't know.
I'm saying my wife got to jump in there. My wife got to throw them hands. She's talking about, shouldn't somebody already be calling the cops?
Yeah, somebody calling the cops.
What?
And somebody is taking the footage of my man getting attacked. You know, I'm already painting the narrative. Y'all know me, baby. I am PR. Okay, I'm P in the PR. Okay, before that, what Kerry Washington, I never watched the show, so I forget what her name was on the show. But
come on, Scandal?
Yeah.
What was that? Oh, God.
But before there was a scandal, I was redirecting and pivoting and writing narratives. Okay. So this is what I do. I'm not gonna get in there and throw no hands. I'm not gonna do that. So I'm saying he's married to the right one. He's married to the right one because I need somebody to back up my words with some fists, and he gonna need somebody to back up his fists with some credible evidence and some words to be like, no, this is the way the situation actually happened. We're not going to be able to cover each other's backs if we're both fighting. We're not. I mean, we fight, but we have to figure out how to, we fight differently, or what have you. And we fight to what goes to our nature. So literally, as he's saying that,
the hawk comes in and snatches
the toad up.
I'm like,
and we like, look at that. That's nature. That's nature. Because y'all, and in the interim of him, or in the midst of him trying to tell me that I need to jump in, he's teaching me some moves. And I'm like, now see, nobody got to teach me how to 911. And there is a fracas and there was an attack on my husband. 6 feet. I'm giving a whole play-by-play. I'm narrating this thing. Send some help right now. We're in fear. I'm sending, they sending up, and they pulling up because of how I sound on the phone. They pulling up thinking they're going to see some white man getting dealt with. They pulling up thinking they're going to see this dude laying people out. So this is why, again, it's to the nature. So to my point, because again, we wasn't the word, y'all. And my point, when I'm saying, if you go to God naturally, like if you naturally got those scriptures on deck, if you naturally get, calling to God for your help, calling to God for your for his wisdom, calling to God for discernment, it keeps you out of so many situations, because literally not one but two dreams I've had. Just to speak, because I'm preaching Olivia Pope. That's right. Before Pope was poping, Omega was Omega, and baby. Before Pope was poping, Omega was Mega, and baby.
Omega was Megan.
That's right. Before Pope was Pope.
You know that's not a word.
It is a word, and Omega was doing it. Okay, before me there was many, but after I laid the narrative down, ain't gonna be no more. But
man, I've been slacking out. My apologies.
Yeah, and we had double digits, and now we ain't even got double digits no more.
I know. My apologies.
But Kerry Washington was named. Yes, he thought of it. Thank you. Yeah, he thought of it. Thank you so much. It might be a little delay, but y'all, I'm preaching to somebody though, because in two dreams, literally in this past month, it was a dream about a demon trying to gain access to my home, literally. And so, if anybody is interprets a dream interpreter, your home may be not physical home. It just may be your place of peace. It may be your workplace. It may be, but it's a demon it's a spirit trying to gain access. It may be your relationship, but it's a spirit trying to gain access. But in both of those dreams where this was happening, I called on God, and my strength was like God showed up. It wasn't no dang. I thought God was gonna be here. No, because I did that first. I ain't fight and then say, oh, dang, God show up. Before I put a hand on him, I was like, God be with me. God be with me out here. God be with me. Help me get the demon out of here. And then the last one I had, which was this morning, which literally was the most vivid one, because he always tell me, Courtney, I don't have dreams like that. Like, because he be telling my dreams be kind of like just, they be regular life dreams. But here, this one I had was vivid. It was gory. I stomped on the demon neck, the blood and everything shot up on me and everything. He sleep. And then he woke up talking about something. No, what happened? What happened with the demon? I'm asleep now. I'm tired. We don't have to revisit that.
See, now you can't just say that and not give him some content. Let me tell you why I went to sleep. Let me tell you why I went to sleep.
Please.
First and foremost, I was tired.
Hey y'all.
Like she was baking me. Hey, I was cooking in the room and I couldn't go to sleep because I'm sweating.
I'm preaching to somebody.
I got to take all these clothes off.
I'm preaching.
I'm on the phone. I'm watching
zombies.
I'm watching zombies.
Okay. He's not guarding his gate. He watching zombies, but I'm having the demon zombie dream.
Hey, well, you know what? You should have took the zombie training program and then you would have been all right.
I was all right. No, because I had God.
There you go.
That was my first nature.
There you go.
Thank you.
And you know what?
Yeah.
God put you in. Because any zombie apocalypse, baby, we are prepared.
Yes, and God, same thing. God put you with me because, baby, I'm making a call. I'm one call Saul over here. I'm making a call, baby.
Well, look, anyway.
I ain't calling the law. I'm calling the Lord.
All right, okay, but listen. So here's the deal. She'll tell me about these dreams, right?
Yeah.
And she will be there.
Yeah.
20 minutes. Tell me about this dream.
Yeah.
And you know what happened? Nothing. She went to the store.
No, that is not true. I'm not even.
She went around the corner.
No. They be real life dreams. They don't be like I said. And this is what I say about my husband, y'all. I love my husband. Everybody needs to know that. But my husband thinks if it ain't nobody neck getting slashed open, it ain't nobody brains getting beat up, it's not action, it's not entertaining. And I'm like, you have to change what entertains you, because you can't sit up here and say, nah, that's not entertaining me. It's very much true. It's not enough action. I'm like, oh, so when he says that, I'm like, I can be rest assured that nobody's eye has been popped out of their socket. That's what he's mean. Like, it's moved too slow. Dang, I was like, I watched the same thing and a lot was happening. No, it was happening. I'm like, oh, okay. He means nobody died, nobody got hung, nobody got drugged behind a car, nobody bones made an appearance in the first 5 minutes.
Okay, first of all,
if that don't happen, it's moving.
Okay, first of all, I watch a bunch of sports movies too. You know,
that's sports. That's
nobody's getting their brains beat in. Well,
they are.
Some kind of boxing.
Yeah, they are. They are. Yeah.
Or like Warrior.
Okay.
It's about MMA.
I've never seen it.
But anyway, like I watch other stuff. I don't just watch people get their koofies knocked off. I watch other stuff.
No, if it's not, because y'all, my favorite thing is to watch, and if you know, little style, it's documentary. I like documentaries. I like biopics, and I'm interested in people. These are my tickers. I'm interested in actually life stories. I'm not interested in the science fiction stuff. I'm just not interested in stuff like that. So I'm like, just because that is not just because that's not what is happening in my dreams, it's very reflective of what I find interesting. And just because the gory and the high action, all of that is not happening in my dreams, doesn't mean that it's boring. It's just what entertains you and appeals to you.
No, okay. We just talking about the dream, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this one did have that.
Okay, but check this out though, right?
Sure you get that.
So, like I said, she'll be telling me about this dream for like 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. Now, mind you, it might be a situation where I might have been asleep and just woke up or whatever, but she'll be super geek, super. I might even get a text. I might be in the bedroom, she in the living room, and I'll get a text. I had a dream I want to tell you about, and it'd be all caps, all like and I'm like, okay,
and it is,
and then she'll ultimate hype woman, hype man, whatever. She'll hype it up, and then it's like, all right, well, that's it.
No, because again, Devon, you're saying the same thing I'm saying. You're not negating what I'm saying.
I'm trying to explain, like, this is
but what is missing from it? No, what's missing from it is, and I said this one, that had the stuff that he finds interesting. He couldn't even make it to that point. He couldn't make it to that point. There was no excuse. There was no excuse this morning. You were just playing games.
It was your own fault.
But it was not. See,
you was cooking my brains.
And once again, no, that was the zombies. So they wanted to be liquefied for you. But for them. Mm-hmm. But at any rate, in both of these dreams, my nature was to call, my natural instinct, my immediate instinct was to call on the Lord. No, it's hard. But the taste is there and I can see what happened. It was just in there a little too long. It's like a cookie. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's so hard.
That's why I told you. It was in there a little bit too long. And I didn't eat it fast enough when it came out. But it's good. It's really good. It's like a Biscoff cookie. But like I said, when you call that name, when you call on the Lord, nothing can defeat you. Because if God be with you, who can be against you, right? And that's why I said I don't think y'all, who do atheists call on? Did they call on themselves? Or is that the agnostic?
Oh no.
Yeah. I would love to know, who do these atheists call on in your moment of need when you at your lowest? Because I promise you, atheists are calling on God. Ain't no way they calling themselves, because themselves is in that situation.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you this. I think they don't care what your religion is, what your denomination is, whatever you believe, whatever you are into, whatever you don't. I think even Satanists, the most hardcore of Satanists, they believe what they believe. When that time comes, and I'm not talking about you're old, you're sick, or whatever, you laid up in the hospital bed, and you got time to think about some things and do all the repenting and, make the phone calls, start to apologizing, and it's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about back against the wall. You don't know what's coming.
Yeah.
But death is around the corner.
Yeah. Death is not here.
And that's when the pleading starts. And I can guarantee you ain't praying to Lucifer, Beelzebub, whatever you want to call these things. And the atheist is screaming, Jesus Christ, oh my God, and all these other, I promise you.
Yeah.
I promise you.
I think so, but supposedly, because I used to get a lot of his videos. I'm still subscribed, but I don't get as many of them anymore. But he's from New York. His name, I think, is John Ramirez. He was a Satan preacher. And he said, I love that guy.
I don't know why.
Why not?
Oh,
why? I will explain why. But yeah, your face screwed up very fast. Like, I don't know why.
Because I think one of his what's name, he was talking stupid.
What's talking stupid?
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna say he was talking stupid. I didn't agree with what he was saying. And I thought it was like off message.
Off message?
Yeah.
Okay.
Trying to think. Matter of fact, there's something you sent me.
Was it? I sent you his stuff about Halloween. That was the last stuff I sent you.
All right. No, I wasn't. Oh, that's why I was gonna get my medical card. I watched that on the bus. I remember that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, it wasn't that. It was after that. And so it must have been something that I found or came across my stream.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what it was. All it was something that I was like, he is tripping. And that was the last thing I watched with him.
Well, I've been watching him for years, and I don't, like I said, I don't see much of his things anymore. But I used to at one point in time be very tuned in and very tapped in. And since he was a satanic priest, he would say they had specific like things that they would teach people to say in the event that they thought death was coming, and it was to welcome, because they were going to be welcomed into this. You know, they paint hell as like a heaven for them. And so the thing of it is, though, he was saying that he's the reason why I don't buy candles with the Virgin Mary and all of that on it, because he said that's stuff I think I sent that to you. Yeah. But he said, interestingly enough, though, when they're working, because he said they meet in these covens, and he said they're all over New York. And baby, let me tell you, I believe it.
Who's Alexa Johnson?
Alexa Johnson is from Ossoff's office.
Just email.
Okay. Come on with it. Come on with it. Come on with it. So
I might get my dust up.
Ooh, I might get my dust up. He'll soldier, y'all. Also said, don't let these skinny legs fool you. I want to fight.
I might get my dust up. Also we might be back to back.
He might.
Because you know the boys is deep.
Oh yes, I know.
They old though. They old. They boys probably ripping.
His handshake surprised me. I almost, I think Alexa might be calling because I might have complained about Alexa, the girl.
Oh.
His correspondent. No, never. All right.
We be talking about it.
What was I saying? So he said that no matter who, when there were covens, no matter what covens, because he said they got a lot of them meeting all over New York.
Really?
But no matter, yeah. New York is like the capital, like place for the satanic worshipers. He said.
Really?
Yeah. Between New York and Miami, they be conventioning. They be convening.
I can see Miami, but
and I can see New York. I can see New York. How? It's a lot of I think a lot of secular energy there. Like I said, you keep saying that, but then Devon, it is very because again, back to nurture versus nature. Mm-hmm. You look at certain things, and those are just normal things to you. And I'm telling you, these are not like normal things, but that's because you brought up in it. But it's a lot of things that are not of the word. They're not principle. They're just like they're survival. Mm-hmm. And because you've seen that be a way of life, you think of them as being it's normal. It's okay.
But I mean, like the satanic stuff, like
because again, if you are not living, what God are you serving? That's the question. And so if you're not living in biblical principle and you're not doing and you're not living this way, these honorable lives, so to speak, then you're doing these other things and you're making excuses, right? So who is it going to be easier? Who would be more appealing to that? These people, when you're in that world, when you're in that lifestyle, you don't want to appeal. You don't want to ask God for it. Because like I said, with my own situation, I wanted to keep doing what I was doing. So I didn't want to have no conversation with God.
Well, no, what I'm saying is like, he's saying that like they have these, covens?
Yeah, all over New York. All over.
Like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying
they're in private, like they're in their homes and stuff, but he said they were all over. They said they're all over. I mean, and then, like I told you too, every time I hear a siren and celestial things, I'd be like, I know she in New York. I know that soundtrack.
You know that soundtrack?
I know that soundtrack anywhere. Doom, doom, doom. That's like Hill Street Blues. When I hear them sirens, I'd be like, doom, 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 doom. Them sirens going, baby. Somebody getting burnt, somebody getting beat, somebody getting.
That's
it's true.
Trying to get through
no, remember when we were over there coming from what's that park? Limerick, the park. It was Sunday, the one where you said they do the drummers in the summertime, but we were there. Drummers. They have drumming at the park. I think it starts with a L, Limerick or
something. Brooklyn?
Yeah.
It's about Prospect Park?
Is that Prospect? Oh, maybe I said Limerick. Anyway, we were coming from there literally, and you were
literally,
literally, and you were talking about how you were saying that I was exaggerating, and literally on the radio, it said the man walking down so street just beat somebody with a bat, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm looking around because I'm like, is this down this street? This down this street? Like. But this you were literally talking about something, ain't no violence like that going on. Ain't no violence like that. And they said that man was down the street, and they said he fled on foot, and they were still looking for him with his bat that he done beat somebody head in with. Okay, and this was a local station, yes. this was what was on the media. But he said, because I missed my point, and I'm trying to preach to somebody, but somebody stopped me, but I'm trying to preach it. He said that at these covens, he would advise them, if this person was into Jesus, don't waste your prayers. Don't waste your prayers on that. Move the people that are not into Jesus. Move the people that are not into Jesus. Move the people, because people that are not covered by Jesus are easy. They are easy. They are easy to infiltrate. They are easy to pick. They are easy to control. But if Jesus is their strength, if Jesus is they go to, if Jesus got day 6, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Like you wasting the power of these prayers. You're wasting the powers of these seances. Yeah, I got that from you. Because Devon has my 6.
You use the term jacker.
But I make it good though.
What?
I make it good. I polish that thing up. That's what I do. but yeah, y'all, that's just that is literally the name of the game.
I've been ignoring TikTok.
Totally have.
I'm bad people.
Totally have. But that's the name. That's the essence of what I'm trying to say here. That if your nature is to call on God in whatever you're doing, you're never going to be defeated. You're never going to be defeated. Even if the defeat looks like defeat to someone else, God has got, because like I love that saying, there are 2 things in life: God's blessings and God's protection. So, and I say too, when people are like, oh, we took a wrong turn, this is a detour. It's a reason why we went this way first. I believe truly in that, and trusting the process. Even for me, y'all, it does get hard sometimes. You know, it was 7 years before I met husband, but let me tell y'all, it has been worth the wait. It has been worth the wait. It really has. And like I had no, like I couldn't have planned it. I couldn't have planned it. We couldn't have planned it. We literally just celebrated our 2-year dating, our 2-year meeting anniversary.
We're doing a dual live, so I'll be not going to invite nobody
up. And I don't usually invite nobody up anyway.
Maybe next time. I don't know. That's like 3 or 4 of them that popped up that want to join in.
I only knew one of them, but I'm not really. I'm not.
But I mean, like I've been kind of like it's just playing right now.
Naima has a question. Thank you, Naima. That's a good one.
What's the question? What's the question? Hold on, you tell TikTok.
This might be a little off topic, but how can someone tell someone from the fake real ones? Okay, so I'm gonna let you take that first, and I'm gonna say what I gotta say about it.
All right. How can I tell?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like, I'm gonna say this from the rip. I'm be a skeptic of whether this dude is legit or not. From the rip. From the rip, you already in the red with me. I'm gonna say that right now.
Yeah, I can testify.
When it comes to these pastors, like you already owe bread. It's straight like that. Like you coming at me, you already owe bread. Until you show me otherwise, I'm gonna always be waiting for the shoe to drop.
Yeah.
Now, I'm working on that because I think that's the wrong attitude to take. I do, but it's hard for me to change that because of what I've seen from pastors, especially in New York.
Yeah.
Especially in New York, it's the what they was calling it, and I just learned this term too, like last week. Neo.
Oh, the theology guy that was on the Perry show. I forget. Yeah.
Like I didn't even know that this thing like actually had a term.
A term, yeah.
Until he said it. Neo.
Because the other one is prosperity preaching,
yeah,
and that was like a neo.
Like okay, the prosperity preaching, preaching.
Yeah.
Like okay, so there's this church down here that we extremely friendly with. Oh man,
hey, I'm not. You told me to remind you, and I
know
at the top of the day.
You did. This is a church that we are extremely close with a few of the congregants. And I was actually supposed to get baptized in this church, and it's crazy because like whatever could go wrong that day went wrong, and I couldn't get, and I didn't make it.
Well, it was that whole weekend. That's why we didn't want to move the car too much on that Sunday because the car was shutting off. Yeah.
So it was like from the rip, like nah, the same way you're supposed to be.
And it literally fell on his birthday. It literally fell on his birthday. Yeah.
Like this ain't you're supposed to be. So wow, yeah, that was a year ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that was a year ago. Mm-hmm. So now in this church, when you come in, behind them it says what is it? Debt-free living.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now listen, I'm all for debt-free living.
We are. And also too,
but hold on, let me
just for scripture purposes though, it says in the Bible that the only debt that we're supposed to owe to one another is to love each other. That's the only debt. So
with now I'm all for debt-free living. I'm all for it. But when I step in the church, that's not the first thing I want to read. It's not the first thing I want to read. It's not the first thing I want to see. So what that tells me, we worship in money.
Yeah.
We worship in debt or being debt-free. What are we worshiping in? Mm-hmm. So first red flag. And
The Message and the Messenger. You need to see that movie. That was such a good movie.
Yeah, that's about prosperity
pastors. And they get these conferences and they make a whole kind of game out of who all can bring in the most money. Yeah.
Now, those are the red flags to me. Are you preaching about prosperity? Mm-hmm. Like, and that for me that's pay for pray. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Basically pay for pray.
Yeah.
So you kind of like in the realm of the Creflo Dollars, them dudes. That's where I put them. And then you just have them other dudes with the that just take the scripture and they turn into Jim Jones. They start this not so much saying that I am God, but
leader.
Yeah, it become a cult like situation. Yeah, like it might be a legitimate church, but then you be like the pastor worship.
Yeah,
and
the pastor worship is a no for me, and that was what I was going to say. Actually, is my biggest telltale. If because this same church that my husband is talking about, when we were looking for a home, we looking for a home, and we calling up about some home ownership, rent to own property. Like we were calling up about opportunities. We ain't calling up to I didn't feel like we were calling up that would warrant this answer. But this same church that my husband is speaking of, when we called up and we were saying, hey, did you get our business plan? Would this work with any maybe programs you guys have going on? Because our business plan has always been about property procurement and being housed while we are, managing that property, right? And so she suggested that we look into staying in an encampment, a homeless encampment, tents. Yeah. And she said
2 kids.
Tents. Yeah, two teams, right? And she said, well, they have heated tents. Like that's what's making it so much better. And I said, would you suggest this to your pastor? And she said, oh, well, of course not. But he would have resources. That was a red flag for us. Yeah. And we didn't attend that church for a little bit. The only reason why we continued to go is because, as my husband said, we're starting to have a relationship developing with a few people that were members there. And it was outside of the church, Yeah. And so then they would say, hey, you should come to church on Sunday. And we did. And to this day, a year later, we still have never been introduced to that pastor.
Never. No. Remember I went to
you were introduced to the birthday, but I mean we've never been able to have a pastor meeting, like a sit down meeting. Like Rev Dev from New Apostolic Faith. Like literally, we joined, or I joined. My husband was. Were you traveling? Because on that day when I went to the live, and anyway, I went to a sermon, and I ended up joining. But literally,
I was in Pennsylvania.
After
I remember that was
literally on. So it was on Sunday, and literally on the Monday, because this was all, of course, through virtual conferencing. But literally on that Monday, he was like, "Hey, when do you want to do your pastor meeting?" And I was like, "Wow, I hadn't really thought of that." First of all, because it was virtual. I hadn't really even thought of doing the pastor meeting. But he said, "No, this is important. You know, when you join the church, you go over your expectations of the church and the congregants, and I'm going to share what our expectations are." And I was like, "Wow, like it's been so long since I had heard that." You know, but also because this church primarily was a church that we were first interested in, that wasn't even a option they threw out. Like we were invited to a couple of new member parties. We were surrounded with other saints of the saints and deacons of the church. But no one said, "Hey, we want to schedule you with a meeting with the pastor." Like that wasn't, and we were the ones asking for that. Like we've asked several people for that.
Let me be clear about something, because I don't want to
mislead.
Yeah, I don't mislead and tear down like this is a bad church.
Mm-hmm.
My problem with this church was the hierarchy.
Yeah.
The members, top notch.
Right,
I would never ever have a bad thing to say about anybody that's a member of that church.
The staff was dismissive.
Especially anybody that I've ever dealt with.
Yeah.
Like they've showed me nothing but love
kindness.
And kindness.
They are fruits of the spirit.
Let me tell you something.
They are fruits of the spirit.
As this, Miss Halsey. This woman, the head is big, tough, burly, big bust from the Bronx, and this woman manages to make me cry all the time. And listen, again, so I don't want to be misleading about anything. Like the members of this church are top notch. Like never any complaints or anything. It's just the hierarchy, like the way it's yeah, and like again, like I don't want to tear the church down, or even, and because I'm kind of holding back because people that I have relationships with attend this church, so I'm being very careful with what I say and how I say it, and to remain respectful. But I did actually meet this guy, and he told me one thing. I did exactly what he told me to do, and still ended up being passed off.
Yeah.
To a woman that told us to, go to the tents.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like where I'm from.
And I wrote that church so many times, y'all. Yeah. They didn't stop writing back. They stopped writing back.
Like where I'm from, man, you say you're gonna do A, B, and C, and you don't do A, B, and C. Now I gotta look at
yeah,
how you coming.
Yeah.
I gotta look at how you coming.
So yeah, so that's why I said my telltale is definitely in the I definitely am a judger by the fruits of the spirit. And if there is a disconnect to the pastors, because I'm not familiar with churches like that. I grew up Episcopalian, and literally Bishop Edmondson to Reverend Manning, we had not even had, but we were expected to have a relationship with those with men of faith, with the men of the cloth, with our leaders in the church. And that's why also too, like I was in my late 20s before it dawned on me that, oh, this whole molesting the flock thing is true. Because honey, Bishop Edmondson wasn't doing nothing like that. Reverend Manning wasn't doing nothing like that. And we were, encouraged. Well, we're wrapping up soon anyway. If you want to go see that. But we were definitely encouraged to have a and tell me how you call it.
Yo,
we were definitely encouraged to have
not
that
much.
type
Let
of
me hold on for 1 second.
we were definitely encouraged to have that type of connection with the relationship with the pastor. My mom, on a couple of occasions, when I had questions about things and I was dealing with things personally in my life as a teen, that's what the trust was. It was trusting. My husband had to take a call, y'all, but we're wrapping up. But my mom said, "Hey, go talk to Reverend Mannon about this." Like literally, and that's trust, y'all. That's trust. And speaking of trust and being able to trust leadership in your church, and them being invested in not only your spiritual growth and development, but also your physical growth. Your health, your improvement on your perspective and your objectives in the world, right? So we talk about in the word and in the world. I think a true pastor is going to be interested in all of that. They're going to be invested in all of that. It's not just going to be like, hey, we'll read these scriptures and then, make sure you tithe. No, it's going to be beyond that. And so yeah, so it was to a point where I was meeting with Reverend Mannon, every Sunday because I was an acolyte. And so after Sunday, I would go and help clean his office, straighten up his office. It was always pristine, but I'll help straighten it up. And we would talk. We would talk, and that happened 4 or 5 times, throughout the course of my 8th grade year. And I look back on that very fondly, because I felt like he was listening, and it felt to me, y'all don't make me get teary eyed here. But when a real true man of God is listening to you, you feel like God is listening. You feel like God is listening. You feel like you're actually speaking to someone that is physically embodying and representing God's nature. And so that's why it was very odd to me when I would hear all of these stories about these things happening with these, pastors and reverends. And I also want to say, for all intents and purposes, I grew up going to Episcopalian churches like all my life. So it was very little Baptist, interwoven in that. I went to a couple of programs or ceremonies, retirement parties, and things like that, and usually their members. I just knew that at Baptist churches, they could sing, they could sing, honey, they could sing, and they could cook. They could very well. That wasn't necessarily the same at the Episcopalian churches. We didn't. A lot was not invested in our chorus or our choir. Like I said, my main goal was to be an acolyte. I liked that was I love like pageantry. So, and especially worked because I never went to a homecoming or a prom. So, having that type of pageantry, being involved in something where we had to dress up and that sort of thing, like that made me feel important. But it brings me up to a nice quote that I saw that Aretha Franklin used to say, is that it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. And so I'm learning that a little bit more every day too. That I've always liked feeling very important, but in this day and time, it's so much wearing on my heart to just be able to be nice and to be kind, to create solutions, to create peaceful situations. That means a lot to me. So at any rate, we are going to close this down because Hubby is taking a call, and it is going a little longer than expected. And I don't want to be finishing up without him. But I did want to say this also: in my adult life, I've been involved with more churches that were not there weren't a lot of members that looked like me. Let's just say it that way, because I don't want to say multi-denomination churches. I hate that term because I'm like, we're all Christians. I think that's so weird. So then people would say, multicultural church, and I'd be like, it wouldn't be multicultural. It's just white, y'all. I want to be very honest. It's just white people. It's just white people and this one black. We were predominantly in a church that was mostly Hispanic, and then we were mostly Hispanic, then white, then we were literally one black family. At our church in Miami, we were their only black family for about 2 years, almost 3 years. And then that a Haitian family came in, honey. And when a Haitian family came in, they came in deep, baby. And so and I remember feeling very proud. That was the first time that I had seen the church in 4 years have, black, or have someone that looked like me, so to speak, on the stage. Because even it just seemed like, even with the choir, I was never invited to join that choir. Like, they told me when they practiced, but there was not a, hey, because I lived very close to the church, and it was never an offer, hey, we'll pick you up and bring you to choir practice. Never that. And I was a part of the women's group and that sort of thing. And my children, of course, was teens there, but they never got invited to play dates, that sort of thing. Yes, they went to Christ camp, or what do they call it? Creed camp. That's what they're saying. So 10 a.m. So they called it Creed camp, but we we of course, from our youth, always referred to it as Bible camp and that sort of thing. But yeah, outside of that, they were never invited to, hey, let's after church. Like, after church, a few of them would get together and go for pizza or go to dinner. Our family was not invited to do that, literally, until we lost our home, and we were, one of our fellow church members, had a Airbnb literally in back of their home that was like a full single apartment.
Shut up.
And we ended up, what happened?
TikTok, shut up.
Oh,
cool.
That's right. So we were staying with them, and so literally when that happened, they would, after church, a couple of times we went to dinner. But other than that, I think we're still on the fake Christmas. Oh. So I think that, in a sense, again, yes, the hierarchy. What the hierarchy does is going to be reflective in the congregation. And if that congregation is not real, that congregation is cliquish, that congregation is, kind of, they're asking kind of how's the weather kind of questions, that's not real to me. And interestingly enough, when Rev Dev asked what were we looking for, or he asked us both individually as well as together, what were we looking for from the church? The number one thing I said was fellowship. So that's big to me. So it means a lot to me. That's a real pastor, a pastor that would ask that, a pastor that is not trying to fill his pews with celebrities and
we was in one of those.
Yeah, we definitely were one of those. Like, it was a who's who church. Like, literally, in every pew, it was somebody that we recognized from the paper. People in government, people, standouts from the universities. Like, it was just like, literally in every pew there was somebody that was just like, hey, weren't they on the news? Weren't they this? Weren't they there? Oh, look over here. That's Commissioner so and so. Okay, that's Judge so and so. Okay, and that's another thing too, because on one hand, it's great to have that type of influential power within the same space, but on another hand, are those people into influential power? Are they into being seen by others who are there as congregants as well? And then there was one that I think we both liked pretty much, but then a sister of ours told us that it was headed by a warlock.
Oh,
so
and listen.
So we stopped. So we kind of, it's not that we stopped going because of that, but every time we kind of talked about going, it kind of, and we're having that sister over for dinner today.
Yeah, and then something came up, like we would be, and then things would come up, and then we just couldn't make it there. Whatever.
Yeah. So I think that's not a coincidence. Because literally, after she told us that, it was like every time we started to plan on going, something would come up. And then you had the very mean thing to say about the sister that invited us for dinner that time.
Whoa.
Very mean thing.
Okay.
And the fact that the Jehovah's Witness, how old were they? Because they tried to recruit you from that very house. They tried to recruit him from that very house. And so they must have known it's a warlike spirit on him. We got to save you, brother. They recruited him for their basketball team from the house. We were invited for Easter dinner. Yeah. So that's where we actually ended up. So the same Easter Sunday that he was supposed to make it over to the other church to get baptized, we were close enough to make it to their church. And you know what? Let me tell you something about the faith of God with that situation. And that's why I really hated to hear that the sister feels like he's a warlock because
and she was so he's warlock.
Yeah, immediately like warlock going on over there. But on more than one occasion, that pastor in that congregation
he looked out.
He looked out.
Big
Yeah,
time. Big time.
Very much.
And now, mind you, this is after we had been to the other spot.
The church. Yeah.
And
so and work members there. Work members there, nothing like that.
We just kind of
actually
stumbled into a Bible study.
Yes. We were invited to the Bible study by somebody who also was not a member. She said, "Nah, just come on here."
Yeah, it was kind of weird because we was driving around
and he went
looking for something. And I said, "Listen, we burning gas. It's kind of low.
We were looking for some properties, y'all.
You know, like we counting change in little change thing. I'm like, man, I ain't gonna be able to get my black and mad
back here,
right?
It was an empty property right back here.
Yeah, we kind of pulled over into the church, and some ladies walking in. I forget what you asked. I don't remember.
I asked her,
I never seen her again.
I know her name was either.
You think she really existed?
Her name was Wanda. Yes, it was. It was my sister's name.
You think she really existed?
I do because he knew who she was, and he said he was the one who told me that she wasn't.
Butterfly effect or something to that effect.
I don't know, but I remember asking her.
What is it, Mandingo thing?
Mandela. Mandingo. Oh. It's too late. You need to get out there. But yeah, I was asking her where there was a community center because we were like trying to find because I got on the phone literally with my good friend and someone who is definitely a spiritual advisor. She was like, "You guys got to find a community center because community centers have resources for houses." And so I was like, we had driven around there and we thought we had seen it, but she was like, "Keep driving, you must." And my husband was like, we can't keep driving because we're not gonna have no gas to pick up the kids from school. We already have gone past because our original plan was to go wash clothes while the kids were in school. But now we were too much in that window where we couldn't just go and get them. And again, like you said, we're digging around for change to put into the tank. And so we got invited in by her name was Wanda. And I was just like, "Oh, that's my sister's name."
I never forget that. She said, "No, this is a church."
Yeah, this is a church.
Well, come on in.
And the way she said it, I thought there was gonna be some stuff in there like food or something because
I was some candy in there though.
It was some candy, and we did fill pockets, and we gave some to the kids too. And we had already picked up from Mount Olive, so we had some stuff.
Yeah, we definitely had some.
But he was awesome. And the pastor, and this is also too what I valued about that interaction. The person preaching was not the pastor.
No,
the pastor was sitting in the rear. The pastor was sitting in the rear, but still, the side. But he was engaging, just like he was. That to me was so humbling and beautiful. That he didn't.
We didn't know he was the pastor.
We didn't know he was
until afterwards.
Yeah, and people were like, "He's the pastor right here." Yeah, and you can talk to him, and they were like, "He's a realtor," and tell him. And so he took my husband. He took us, but we went over. He filled the car up with gas. Put some money in the pocket and then still paid for a week at the hotel. Yeah. So this was and it was done without hesitation nor question. He wasn't trying to read no background. He didn't ask a lot of questions. What was going on? He didn't.
How did I get down here? He said, wait, y'all doing what?
Yeah.
He said, okay, look, follow me.
Yeah.
Follow me to the gas station over here. Fill my tank up. He said, "We got staying."
Yeah.
But down there.
Yeah.
And I mean, like it was.
And then I think he still gave that day. I think he still gave like 20 or something. He still gave some cash also.
More than 20, I think $100.
No, that was when we took him to the house. Look at the house because
that's right.
That wasn't going through. So he said,
"Yeah, he said,
treat your family to dinner. Take your family to dinner." He said, "Take your family to dinner."
He like,
because it wasn't go. That wasn't go. We weren't moving it. We weren't moving it.
And that was before I even we went back and I called Jay and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Before we did all that.
But I'm like that first day he did all of that, and plus he still put a little money in the pocket. I think it was like $20 or something. But it was the kindness that we were really surprised by. We were really kind of shocked by that, and that he was the pastor doing this, because again, we had this type of treatment, but we had it from
like the pastor.
Yeah, we had it from the congregants of the other church.
You know what? Let me say this.
Yeah.
About real ones.
Yeah. Judge them by the fruit. Judge them by the fruit.
The real ones.
Fruits of compassion.
Pastor Luis Ortiz.
A real one.
This is I don't know what's the name of the new church.
I mean, either Bridge something.
I think they just renamed their church.
Their church
and I don't
name,
want to say the wrong. Matter of fact, you know what? Because this is a man, right?
Yeah.
Who, because I actually subscribe to his church.
But yeah, he was definitely, and he kicked off. He said when we met him, literally, because we met him at Affordable Housing Summit. It was the same summit that we attended before getting placed in this home.
Oh, they still got Young Harris on there.
He said to me, after there was a break, and people were literally, they were breaking to go the other way, because there were some that wanted to approach us, but there were many more that did not want to look into our face. Because to look into our face and knowing that, what we were saying was true, that was too much for people. People be real ashamed when they get their own stuff handed to them. But he said, nobody in the church nobody in here may have been listening to you, but I want you to know God was listening. I want to get you some help. And so he said, I can't do much more than a week, but I can do a week for you at the hotel. And so he literally, even though the office was usually closed on Sunday, on Friday it was closed. He literally he called in his personal assistant to go ahead and set everything up so we could literally check in to the hotel that night. And from the time that we checked into that hotel that night, we were never without a hotel room until we moved into here. Literally,
put it like this: not another day was slept in that car.
Yes. Oh, that's beautiful.
Not another day.
Not another day. And including when we drove to Daytona for my dad's memorial. Somebody had to do a drive-by.
Listen. Let me tell you something. Let's be very clear about something.
Drive-by to that.
She told me she want to get a hotel. She wanted a room because there's a pool.
The pool was amazing.
Listen,
the pool.
I said, look,
we still swam.
We did the memorial thing. Y'all boy go swim.
The memorial. Listen, the memorial thing. That is not a memorial thing. It is the memorial. Period. It's not a memorial thing.
We did the memorial, right? Mm-hmm. And I put together a crazy fly, just awesome video. I had myself on the back.
Wow.
Even Monica said it was dope.
Thank you.
It was crap. But anyway, so I let them do the I don't know what you call it. Grieve. Memorialize.
What
I don't know what they call it. Like what do you do?
What?
At a memorial, what do you call it?
You do your. We attended the memorial. What are you doing at it?
No, what is it called? Like when you do it, is you like memorializing, or you like grieving? Like I don't know what's going on here.
Well, what we did was share stories, and we paid our respects.
Okay.
Yeah. So
they did that. They went swimming. I crashed. I took my little nap, got me some rest.
And we went to the beach, and I got some beach.
Went to the beach, got some beach water, sand, all these things, and I'm like, all right, let's go. Now, mind you, we just moved back in here.
Yeah.
Like king size bed up in
here. We didn't have that time. We had the air mattress.
We still had the air mattress.
Yeah, we still had the air mattress.
Either way, it was queen size. Like, nah, we got a whole house. You want to get room? We got a whole house.
And also too, I think that also spoke to the fact that we were just done with hotel rooms. The only reason why I was gonna sleep in that pool, by that pool. The pool was as big as the ocean, y'all. That pool was so big and deep.
See the exaggeration.
And that pool was so big and so deep. And me and the children just really enjoyed ourselves. So literally, he slept in the car while we went. Well, the kids ended up sleeping in the car too. I was swimming by myself. Yeah, they wasn't when I went.
Nah, because they went early, and where did we go?
We went to Walmart to get up stuff for the memorial.
Right. Yeah. We went to Walmart. They went swimming.
Yeah, and then
by the time
we came back, they would sleep after the memorial, and I went swimming solo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was swimming solo. But still,
I got some chicken out the deal.
Yeah, but still, he's not in. We never had to sleep in the car again, and we were able to not just
hold on.
take
I
peace
want
of mind from
to
that.
like just look okay.
Mhm.
Pastor Luis Ortiz. Now he's the. If you go on YouTube, it's under Young Harris Methodist.
Yeah, the Young Harris United Methodist.
Young
Church.
Harris United Methodist. Now, however, that's what's under on YouTube, but that's not the name of the church. They've changed the name of the church, and I don't remember what it is. It was something like Bridging the Gap.
It's something like Bridges Connection or something like that.
So, I know it's something to do with Bridges. I know, but Pastor Luis Ortiz. When I tell you that that's not even the only thing that he's done for us. Like this, when I say real one, that's the real one. Like I'm never worried about the shoe dropping there.
Yeah.
I ain't worried about that there. I ain't worried about him, you know.
And if it does drop, he gonna buy some new shoes. He gonna buy. If the shoe drop, that's because he trading them out. He done gave them to somebody literally.
Yeah. I'm not worried about him prosperity preaching. Pay for pray. I'm not worried about him misleading with the scripture. I ain't worried about none of that. I ain't worried about none of that. Like Luis Ortiz, Pastor Luis Ortiz.
Yes.
So
but I'm gonna say, but judging by the fruits of the spirit.
Yeah. Let me say this. I do a lot of complaining about Athens, right? And it ain't all bad. It ain't all bad. Like I've been shown an extreme amount of love down here too. That there are some dudes I want to take behind the shed and do some things to them. That's not God.
That was I'm about to say, but that whole statement has always been weird.
What, take back behind the shed?
Yeah, because that don't sound like.
Yeah. That's because there's something that goes behind that, but like it's YouTube, so I'm sitting behind the shed and do some things that ain't godly to him.
Yeah, that sounds a
little. No, it does not, because we talking about pop and boom boom and things like that. But anyway, that's.
I know what the saying is, and I know where it comes from. I'm just saying, every time I heard it, even from the first couple of times, I just always thought that sounds.
Well, that's because that's what they used to do, like to like
horses and deliverance.
And you know what?
Pigs. That sounds like something that they're doing with pigs.
I should have got that bacon. Anyway, like I said, like I've been shown a lot of love down here in Athens, man, from various people in various walks of life too.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
So again, I do a lot of complaining about Athens because some of the stuff's just weird down here. I mean, it's just weird. But and I'm saying this to say this. Even though there's a lot of weird stuff going on down here, there are some good people. There are some what you call it? Like they ain't all bad apples. You're not all bad apples. And as far as the church scene goes, other than my man being called a warlock, I didn't see it. I gotta ask about this kid. It's like, what I'm saying? Like, because whenever we call, he answers.
He would. Until like the last couple of times, he never came by though to any of the stuff that we had here.
Nah, but he old though. He's real old. He's one of them guys.
And then he was also the brother-in-law, the one that
Oh yeah. That scalawag.
Wait a minute, that's not your God, man.
I ain't say what I wanted to say. That's not even. That's like
that's
a
pirate talk. That's not your God,
Tom.
That's
pirate talk.
That's not your God, Tom. That's your God.
Yeah. She was on some other stuff.
Okay, back
on. But look, in any event,
thank you.
Let me see some things. I gotta have.
And I do. Now, see, imagine if we was both in that nature, and we both be sitting on here cursing and
I ain't cursed.
You did not, but that's what we would both be doing because it would only escalate. We would escalate each other. We would escalate each other.
Pump each other up?
Yeah. Because you're gonna say scallywag, and I'm gonna say something that top scallywag, and we're gonna keep going back and forth about how this, and then what we gonna end up. Off of calling somebody a scallywag? Probably not.
We just gonna be getting hype. Yeah,
no.
I mean, we might end up in there anyway. Wait, what time is
it? It's time for
Sharon
to come on over. I already told her, babe. She said she got some stuff for the pantry. She gonna be coming.
What I'm saying?
You don't even know. You're saying besides the scallywag, and then you went.
Oh yeah, because like old boy, Warlock thing kind of threw me a little bit. Like I said, when we call, he answers. And like I said, the church scene is
But
it's kind of hit and miss down here, though.
Spirit, for her to have a discerning spirit, she be liking up Charles Hardy stuff. Like, yeah. That's crazy to me. And she says she got that discerning spirit. So she might be. Listen, a broken clock is wrong 2 times a day. But yeah. All right, but we are in the room. We are closing out this live. We want to thank y'all for tuning on in. We had a good time, a good chat today. But remember, what in the word? When we're talking about nature, if you make God a part of that nature, you will never even raise a child up in the way they're supposed to go, and then they would never stray from it. They would never depart from it. But if you have accepted the Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, and you are intentional in that word, and you're intentional with that commitment and in building that relationship, because I'm telling y'all, in these dreams, it wasn't a question. When I called on God, when I called on Jesus, I knew couldn't nothing stop me with these demons, y'all. Couldn't nothing stop me. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. I've never experienced dreams like that before. I really haven't. And I consider myself walking with God since I was, young, about 9 or 10. But there is something that is definitely shifting in this phase of my life, that I am calling on God. I'm calling on that word more and more. Oh, he is so sweet. He thought I was today. No, Lord, today.
Yeah.
Rev Dev. And when you talk about a real one, he thinking. he thinking he thought our birthday was today. So yeah, let me go ahead and text him back. All right, y'all. But until next time, y'all know what it is. So see us back here on Saturday with our Rev and his wife, prophetess Lauren Oliver, and they're going to be our premier guest couple for Couple of Forever.
That's why we kicking that off.
A Couple of Forever.
I would Rev huge thanks and gratitude.
Really?
I do.
Baby, thank you for saying that. Babe, you didn't even say the biggest thing for today.
What? Bong bong?
Birthday. You didn't say nothing about your birthday. That's your birthday.
But it's gone.
I know, but you didn't. You haven't been on since before your birthday. This is the first live since. Goodbye, y'all. Goodbye. Thank you for saying that, though, and I'm sure he's gonna appreciate hearing that too.